Hi everybody. Today we're going to talk about Mrigashira Nakshatra. Mrigashira starts at 23 degrees and 20 minutes in the zodiac sign of Taurus, and it goes to 6 degrees and 40 minutes in the sign of Gemini. The ruling planet for this is Mongol or Mars. The ruling deity is Chandra, the moon god in the form of Soma. Mrigashira's symbol is the deer's head. The translation of Mrigashira is also the head of the deer. The gender of this nakshatra is genderless. The guna is tamasic. The nature is soft, mild, or tender. The element is earth. And the servant class is the caste. The yoni, or the animal, is a female serpent. If I was to describe Mrigashira in one word, it would be quest. And that's because Mrigashira people, they do like to look for something, especially a life partner. And they like to find somebody. And they're just kind of looking for somebody to be in their life with them, and that goes all the way back to from a long time ago. I mean, these people, these natives, they grew up like getting, their mother played a pivotal role in their life. I mean, until they're like age 30. And so these people always had somebody directing them. And these people usually continue to have people directing them. The males in this nakshatra, they tend to be really submissive. And the females, on the other hand, the females like to be domineering in relationships. Usually the females, they usually are wearing like a lot of jewelry, and have really nice clothes, and they're really witty. There's an actress that kind of reminds me of this. Joan Crawford reminds me of how a Mrigashira female would be. Actually, if a Mrigashira man and a Mrigashira woman got together, it'd probably be a really good relationship, because the man likes to be submissive, and the female counterparts, they like to be demurring. So it'd be a perfect relationship, because a lot of times, for the Mrigashira woman, you'll find men that don't like to be demurred. It makes them feel, less of a man, so to speak. They don't really like the idea of being battled by a woman. But then some men do, like your counterpart. I mean, some men, they like that. And I mean, it goes both ways. Some women, they don't like men to be like really clingy and, always talking. And I mean, it just depends. And I mean, since relationships are so important to these natives, you just have to be careful, like who you're getting in these relationships with. Because sometimes, you may find in your relationship that after you ask them, hey, how can I fix this? They may not like that. I mean, because these natives, you tend to get into, you might even get with somebody without knowing them, because you want to have that partnership in your life. I mean, your quest, so to speak, is very materialistic and physical. So you're looking for that, either material things or physical contentments. So a lot of times you may meet someone and be physically attracted to them, and then after you're with them, you'll find out that they don't really want to be with you, like for a long term. And then you might, try to figure out why. And then that can just make it the situation even worse. So it's really important that you just make sure that, you're clear as to what you want from the beginning, and don't let your pursuit for self-gratification get in the way. On the other hand, though, these people are usually very, I don't know the word to say, but if somebody is feeling really bad, you're able to sense that, because you have the deer head, and the deer knows when they know all the territories to go to which are dangerous and all of the ones that are safe. They're very alert in that sense. And so because you are really tender-hearted, you can sense when somebody needs a shoulder, or they need somebody to talk to. You can sense that. Sometimes with this nakshatra, if things are going on the malefic side, you might get really flirtatious and impulsive and need constant attention all the time and get really clingy. You may get suspicious, even depending on which house it's in and everything like that. You may end up getting suspicious. Usually, though, the males with this nakshatra are advised to not lose your wealth due to high affection towards people. So if you notice that you have a friend that is starting to ask to borrow money a lot, or maybe even you have a friend who comes up with an idea that doesn't sound good to you, to open a business that, the business prospects don't sound good to you, and you're the one that has to put all the money into it, you may want to double check that, and just be really careful. I mean, because you have a hopeful personality, which is a great characteristic. It doesn't hurt to be hopeful, but some people, they take advantage of that. And some people, they laugh at hopes. So you have to be really careful, because a lot of people will try to take advantage of you in that situation. So just be careful of that. If somebody wants to go into business with you, say, hey, that's a great idea. As soon as you come up with 50% of it, let's do it. I mean, you could even go as far as, changing your phone number, moving out of the city, The last thing you need is, somebody dragging you down, and losing wealth because of it. A lot of times, the male nakshatras are, you seem like you're really courageous on the outside, but on the inside, you feel weak. And sometimes you only work as you like. these people usually don't blindly believe anybody, but you do respect other people's opinions. And sometimes you end up getting in the mix of people who gossip a lot. You'll want to be careful of that because, again, your personality is the type where you're a tender-hearted person. So, when people sometimes use you to, as their shoulder to cry on or to rant and rave, and sometimes because you want to be a good friend, you'll agree with people that you don't even agree with, just so you could be comforting to that other person. When you start to feel that happen, just, if they call you up again, just be like, I'm busy. And then eventually they'll stop calling, and that's a graceful way to get out of those relationships, because a lot of the times you might get yourself in situations where you don't even like the people that you're around. But sometimes you're just too nice to like walk away and be like, oops, I made a mistake. So you could do it gracefully, just be like, I'm busy, or say that, you're too busy, or you could even do, not answer the phone or not answer the messages. And let's see. Mrigashira. A lot of the women, on the other hand, they're quick-witted. They do like to do social work also. A lot of the times, with this nakshatra, like I said in the beginning, you guys are after material and physical pursuits. So, when you're in a relationship, you're always like positive about it. And then sometimes you expect the relationship to go further and it doesn't. So, just maybe take some time to focus on what you really want, because what you really want, you want those pursuits, and you want that. And if you do just want, like, I'll go ahead and say it, if you just want like one night stands, then you can keep doing what you're doing. But if you're truly looking for like someone to be your partner, because you have that wanting physical pursuits in your nature, you may just want to, take a step back and say, hey, do I really want to be with this person for a long time? Or do I just want to, have it be temporary? And no matter what you want, just make sure that the partner knows that too, so you guys don't end up hurting each other. Because Mrigashira natives like to, be in a, they like to get in a cuddly scene. And, maybe temporary, maybe for a long time, but regardless, you guys do like to get into relationships. You guys like to satisfy yourself, in terms of that. And if you really do like somebody, you'll want to figure out what you're doing in that relationship, and you'll want to know like how to fix it, how to make it last forever. So just make sure that the partner feels the same, and you guys are on the same boat there. Another thing that I've noticed about this nakshatra is sometimes, I mean, not a lot of times, but sometimes, you guys are the types of people who, I mean, yes, you're caring, but sometimes you get to the point where you want to be liked so much that you'll do stuff that you don't even agree with. Like, and then, like, if you got in a really sticky situation, like if you're hanging around people who are gossiping and then it ended up getting out of hand and people got in trouble or something like that, you would be the first one to tell on everybody else to save your own skin. That is something that I've noticed about this nakshatra. So just be careful, you know. You don't always have to please everybody. I mean, people let each other down all the time, and the faster that you do that, the less it hurts. So if you meet somebody and you guys aren't clicking, tell them right away. You know, just, hey, it was great to meet you. Have a good life, you know. Don't wait until, you know, this person thinks you're their best friend or you think they're your best friend, and then you're like, oh, I want to have a long-term relationship with you, or vice versa. Like if you're looking for a physical pursuit and then you get with somebody who's looking for a physical pursuit also, and then you're like, oh, I love this person, and then you start like wanting to be with them forever, and then they're like, you know, what are you talking about? Just leave it at that and be like, okay, you know, I got into this myself, I made my bed, now I'm gonna lay in it. So it kind of goes both ways. So just be careful, because you do have the moon ruling this nakshatra, and so sometimes your emotions can go up and down and round and round. So just be careful about that. Yeah, so let's get to our compatibilities here. So of course Mrigashira is going to get along really well with other nakshatras that are ruled by Mongol or Mars. So that is going to be other Mrigashiras, of course. That's going to be Dhanishta, Chitra. You're going to get along with Chandra nakshatras. So Hasta, Rohini, Shravana. You're going to get along with Surya nakshatras, so that'll be Uttarashada, Uttar Falguni, and Kritika. You're going to get along with Brahaspati nakshatras, so Purva Bhadrapada. Actually, I think it's Purva Bhadrapad. Purva Bhadrapad. Vishaka, Purnavasu. Things are going to start going neutral with Shukra. So that's Baharini, Purva Falguni, Purva Ashada. Things will go neutral with Rahu or Ketu. So Magha, Mula, Arudra, Swati, Ashwini, and Shatabisha. And things will go uneasy with nakshatras of Shani. So that's going to be Anuradha, Uttra Bhadrapada, Pushya, Uttara Bhadra. I think that's how you say it. Uttara Bhadrapada. Okay. And then the most challenging is going to be with nakshatras of Buddha or Mercury. So that's going to be Ashlesha, Jeshta, and Revati. So folks, thank you so much for joining me tonight, and I hope you have a great night.